I'll get up here. So now we got two of them. We had a blowout after about 100 miles, put the spare on. 100 miles later we had a second blowout. They're both in here. And we had one blowout over here on the front. And we took an old tire from the other side, put it over here. And here we got the new tire with the spare and one missing, and we got 100 miles to go. Well, here we are. We made it here last night at midnight after leaving that gas station in Ennis at about 9:30. We had almost 100 miles to go, and we just went between 35 and 40 miles per hour all the way like this. So the story is, we left Missoula, and I actually noticed right there that one of the tires didn't look good, and that's this one right here. Or actually, that's not the tire, but that's where the tire was. And I told my buddy Bruce that this may go bad and we may have to change that. So sure enough, we didn't even make it to Butte. About 100 miles in, that tire blew, and we put the spare on. And then we drove to Butte and we checked air real quick. It needed a little air. We checked the other three, they were all good. And then we kept going. And about 15 miles before Ennis, actually going up the pass from Norris, I noticed sparks in the rear view mirror on the driver's side. And just for a split second or so, I wasn't sure what it was. We couldn't see anything anymore, so we drove up to the pass and we stopped up there. It was super cold and windy. And then we, well, had another flat. That was the second one. So we got two of those suckers right in here. Those are the two. So first the one on the passenger side front, and then over here the driver's side front. Okay, so then we took this tire, or this wheel here that was here, had a flat. We took it off and we limped around with three of them down the pass to a motel parking lot. We pulled in there so that we could change the tire. That we took the wheel off the passenger side rear and put it in the driver's side front. So that is the one that is here. So we got the two old wheels here, and they don't look good either anymore. They're just all four are going bad at the same time. But we had to put two over here because this was the heavier side of the trailer, or is the heavier side of the trailer. So we needed two wheels here. And then we have the one good wheel on the other side supporting the lighter side. And so we limped into Ennis, going 35, 40 miles an hour, filled up fuel, and did the other almost 100 miles to Island Park between 35 and 40 miles an hour, and got here at midnight. But yeah, we made it. It's possible to do. Since these are rubber torsion axles, that makes it actually a lot easier. If those would have been axles with leaf springs, we probably would have had to find a way to tie it up if there would have been a way. But with the rubber torsions, they don't drop as much. So that saved us, and we were able to get it here. And now I gotta go and order some wheels. I'm just gonna order 4 complete wheels, probably off Amazon, because I don't know how good those rims are here still. They're as old as the trailer, so it's a 94. So I might as well just get 4 complete wheels and put them on here, just to be safe. But we made it on 3 wheels. So it's another beautiful morning here in Montana. It's about the 3rd week of March, and temperatures just came above freezing. I believe about a half an hour ago or so we crossed the freezing mark, and it's about 33-34 degrees right now. But it is beautiful out. Blue sky, the sun's coming out. And so, well, we don't have a shop, so we gotta work in a big sky garage, and this here is the project for today. I bought this tire changer here probably a couple years ago to change tires on my daughter's small ATV. And back when I just cut this tree down here and had this little stump left over, I did notch it on the bottom so I can get that tire changer in there and strap it to the stump. And that works okay. I mean, so far we probably changed only like 8 tires on here. We don't do this very often. This is for ATVs or trailer tires. You don't necessarily want to do your car tires on there because it's a lot of brute force that you will use, and tires have a tendency, or wheels, that the rim actually has a tendency to get a little scraped up when you're doing it this way. So yeah, if you got nice brand new wheels, you may want to consider taking them to a tire shop. So this is one of the 4 here, and you can see here it's about to blow. So these wheels came off our cargo trailer. They've been old, and we pushed it on the last run a little bit, going a little faster than usual because we had to go quite a ways, and sure enough 2 of them blew up. We put the spare on, the first one, and then when the second one blew up, we had to bring one tire around from the other side, so that we had 2 bad tires like this one on one side of the trailer and the good spare on the other, and the 4th position was empty, and we limped in at about 30 to 40 miles per hour, but we made it. So now we gotta change them out. Got some new trailer tires here. Ordered those off Amazon. They're nothing special. I don't want to spend much money on trailer tires because they usually sit around anyway. We got a little better tire in regards to the load range. We went a step up since the trailer is usually pretty heavy, and so they may do a little better than these. I don't know, who knows. But yeah, today we're gonna change these 3 on here, and then we'll take them to where the trailer is, put the 3 new ones on, and we'll take the 4th one that's still on there, that's probably as bad as this one right here. We'll take that one off and keep it as a spare to make the drive back to here. Well, let's see if we can get this done. The metal's still a little cold here, so I gotta put my gloves on. Alright, so we're trying to press those off. There. go. So there's this little, let's get this out of the way, this little piece of iron right here, little hump. That's what your rim needs to rest on. So you kind of put it on, pull it out till it rests on there. Put the bar in this way. And then the bar has a tendency to kind of slide away. So you may have to reset it a couple times. Okay. So we got these two off. This one still holds air, and I gotta go find a tool to get the insert out of the valve stem here so we can deflate this thing completely before we can pry this one off. So we'll set it aside for now. So now we got to put the wheel up here. There's this little bar that goes through one of the holes for the lug nuts or bolts, depending on what you got. This one's already bent up. This whole tire changing thing works all right for yeah, your ATV tires, some agriculture stuff, you know, as long as it's cheap and you don't mind scraping up the rim a little bit here and there. So this piece here, I already had to cut that down to actually do the wheels on the ATV. It wouldn't even fit in on the ATV wheels because they were so small. And again, this piece will probably scrape up your rim a little bit because this all has a tendency to kind of turn and slide and go all over the place. So yeah, I would recommend don't use that on your nice aluminum rims for your cars or something like that. I want to tighten this down pretty good so it slides around less. And this little pin is supposed to help that prevent it from turning, but yeah, it'll still do this or that. So now we're going in here, and so press this side, the opposite side of the bar, down into the groove. See that you can bring this up, and you want to start right at the valve, especially if you reuse the valve. If you don't reuse the valve and just cut it off and take it out, it don't matter. But if you would start somewhere else, you may actually drag the bead of the tire over the valve, the inside part of it, and you may start to tear it apart. You may not notice that, and then as you're going down the road, all of a sudden the inner part comes separated and flies off, and you're gonna have flat. So just bring it up right there. Yep, and it's brute force. Yep. So this doesn't slide at all. Probably should have put that on a little earlier here. This is just a rubber lubricant. You can get that at the automotive stores, the parts supply houses, wherever. If you don't want to buy any of this, you can use soapy water. Kind of looks like soapy water anyway. So This hopefully helps the situation here. There we go. Now again, we'll try to start over here. So I'm pressing the lower part up. Yeah, I got my glove caught. There we go. And again, we can use a little lubricant underneath here. There, one off. So let's see here. The rim looks pretty crappy on the outside, but actually the inside is nice. So we'll put that right back on. You may know this here. This is super narrow in here, so it will be super hard to inflate. We'll have to see. I don't have a band to put on. That's usually what tire stores use. They can use a band if they're this narrow, or they have an air tank that has a big nozzle on it that can blow a lot of air in super quick. Don't have that, so we'll have to figure out how we're going to do that. But first we got to get them on. So when you put tires on, always make sure you put them on the correct way. Some tires have a rotation, so there will be an arrow on there somewhere. Usually trailer tires don't. They go both ways, doesn't really matter. Tires usually, or some of them do have this yellow dot here, which is an indication of where you should place the valve or could place the valve, which supposedly helps with the balancing. Over the many years I really haven't noticed any difference. Also most tires don't even have that anymore, but it's on here so we could place it where the valve is. Then just to make it look all the same, we place this on the outside, I guess, or we can place it on the inside. There's a green line here. I kind of prefer to install them all the same way, so whatever you want to go by. But let's put some lube on. So we'll just put some on both sides. Then we want to start just off from the valve. Let's see if we can actually push that on. Yeah, let's keep sliding off. And since it's so narrow, it fell in so much, so the gap in here is so narrow. As I'm trying to get one bead on, the other one just goes down with it. That's going to make it even a little more difficult here. Because basically we're supposed to get one bead on at a time. So let's see here what we can do. So we got to get the bar on. under there and see if we can slide the sucker on there. Yeah, this will be a tough one. Yeah, the second bead just wants to slide on with it. That doesn't help at all. Just trying to get this thing under, so it's a little difficult here. Once the bar comes out, doesn't make it any easier. So I'm supposed to use this end here to slide it on, have the tire on here, the bead on it, and move around and we'll slide in. But once it pops out, it's pretty hard to get in, so I'm just trying to get underneath the bead and over the rim and get it down like this. Alright, so let's see if we can get the second one on a little smoother. There we go. So, that was a little too much. So the tire tries to keep turning on me, so I may need to go get another bar. To hold it in place. Yep. There we go. We're getting there somewhere. So you always want to make sure you push it down so it's not sitting up on the rim. It's got to be down where it can go further in, so it can go over this way. Getting a little tight. It's getting a little dry too. There, put some more lube on. We got a valve right there. The valve would be on this side. Now the tire will kind of push against that valve, possibly do damage. So with it being on the opposite side, almost. Would be nice if it just pop on real quick. There we go. Alright, that's the big problem here. Obviously, as we're putting air into the valve right now, it just escapes everywhere. And so we got to come up with a method to fill that here a little later. There's different ways, and that's probably something for a different video. But got the first one on. Yellow dot, you can always put it to the valve, but doesn't really matter until we start inflating. Alright, number 2 is off. This one has a weight here on top, so as you come across with the bar, that weight is always kind of in the way. This one slid a little bit. It's best if you take them off, probably that's easiest. So again, this rim looks decent on the inside. Valve stem doesn't look too bad, so we'll go with it. Unfortunately, the tools to replace the valve stem are in the trailer, and the trailer isn't here. So usually I would replace those valve stems right now, but without having the tool, that is kind of painful. Getting it out is no problem. You just cut the bottom off, it pops out, but then you kind of have a nice tool to pull it in so you don't damage the threads up here as you're pulling them in. Also, there's a tool to get the core out. But yeah, gotta figure that out somehow, doing it without this. Gonna round up something here real quick, screwdriver or pliers, to take this weight off though, because that makes it quite a bit harder. This will, the bar can hang up here, or the tire itself, the bead could even possibly get damaged on there a little bit, and we don't want that. We may get a leaky tire, so need to round up a tool for that real quick to get this out of the way, and then we'll put the tire back on. Alright, I was able to round up a few tools, but like I said, basically all the tools are in the trailer that those wheels are for, and that makes it a little tougher. And usually the trailer is where I'm at, but couldn't limp it back home like that. So gotta deal with what we got. So that gets the valve, the weight off real easy. Just some water pump pliers. Let's put those aside. I got a couple other things trying to get the core out of the valve. So what sometimes works is smaller screwdrivers. I don't know if that one's small enough. And you can push it in on one side of it. Don't work. That one was too big. Needle nose pliers are too big. What about these here? Oh, they're kind of, no, too big. So still don't have anything to get the core out of the valves. Got to figure that out a little later so we can inflate those tires as well as deflate that one. I mean, deflating that one is the easier part, as we can just press in on the little stem. And so that way you can release the air out of it and I can pull it off, put the other one on. But to fill them, we definitely want the core out of the valve stem, because these tires are so narrow, fallen in, and don't seal. We need to get as much air in as possible. But filling those tires, that will be something for another video. So let's get this one back on. Like I said, you can do this on old rims. I wouldn't do it on nice aluminum rims for your car. Old stuff, trailer stuff, whatever, ATVs. That is probably a good way to do on your car. I think you should take them in. Also, these trailer tires are relatively easy to do. So the larger the number for your ratio, the larger the number for your ratio is, the easier it will be. So this is a 175/80. So 80 is the largest number. Basically, there's nothing above 80. If you have a 50, whoa, it'll be super tough with this. So you can do probably 70, 75, 80, maybe a 60. It also depends a little bit on how wide they are, but it becomes pretty tough. But overall, it works good for these trailer tires and ATV tires. Probably could even do a smaller tractor tire on here. That stuff works relatively easy. Well, you get how this goes around here, and it's too bad we don't have a nice shop to work in, but well, you got to deal with the situation sometimes. So currently a shop for us is not really worth the investment, so we'll work outside in the big sky garage, and that is fine on days like this when it's beautiful out. In the wintertime when it's 20 below, that's a little chilly. So, but anyway, hey, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, share this video with others, family, friends, whoever would like to see it, you could think of, share it with them. When you subscribe, make sure that when this little window pops up with the notification bell on, that you click on all, so you get notified for every video we have. We got all kinds of stuff, whatever happens around the ranch here. Our electric cars, animals, all kinds of stuff. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.